Älskar du hjärtat för att det dunkar? Du malis. Pajon är det du? Rosa du malis. Nyponrosa som blämmor och eksem som blommor och eksem. Skönhet är törnen. Och blå och rosa och blå, flikiga, flickiga, fläkiga, vräkiga. Älskar du dem ändå? Jag tänker på pioner och vad pioner är. På blommor, ord och gudar om de vet vad skönhet är. Om de vet hur det är. Att hjärtat ständigt dunkar, dundrar, dudum, som om hjärtat oroar sig för att falla i glömska. Som om gudarna oroar sig för att dö. Jo, också Hades var rädd för döden. Det var därför han förvandlade läkekonstens gud, Pajon, det är du, till en pion. Som om blommor inte kunde dö med tunga huvud, alla dessa kronor, blad, att vända Pajon. Tiden är så lång. Vända mot solen över tunna skälken. Hjälp mig som stolt stå i backen som blåsippor och spön. Det är gudarnas tårar. Över allt de är, över att de är varken levande eller döda. Med denna ständiga dödsrädsla. Pajon, hjälp oss gudarna. Är statiska, zapp, urladdningen. När de lät dig bli till. Sa människa. Lev som en blixt, som ett barn gnuggar ballongen mot håret. Ögonen gapar, ballongögonen faller inte. Inte som hjärtat och håret i flyende, flikiga, flickiga, fläkiga, vräkiga skyar. Barnsky. Vi är bara inflikningar i tiden. Var och ska komma. Odjur. Laddar luften mellan kronbladen. Mellan tiden och tystnaden. Plus och minus, plus blir minus en paradox. Att när gudarna är statiska måste vi röra oss och varandra. Andas. Ladda orden, ladda jorden, ladda rosen, zapp. Jo, jag tänker på rosen och vad rosen är. Den där rödaste som slår ut om och om igen. Pajon älskar växterna varandra. Slår ut i det förfall som är förbehållet oss som lever och dör i denna ständiga urladdning. Att hämta oljud odjur, ord ur kriget och binda till en krans. Pioner, rosor. Du har hämtat också dem. Du är den som låter samma ros. Är en ros, låter rosen du dum, som hjärtat blir till om igen och pajon. Med taggar och törnen, ja visst, det är så vi lever och dör med blämmor och eksem, med blommor och eksem. River i halsgropen, hjärtgropen, pionerna. Du är den som älskar världen trots dess förfall. Den tillhör oss och inte gudarna. Pajon, är det du? Jo, det är vad en ros, vad ett ord, vad en pion är.
Thank you very much. Where are you? It was truly beautiful. Thank you. Swedish Minister for Gender Equality and Housing, Märta, Stenevi. Ambassadors, where are you? Representatives from Nordic safe cities, winners of the Pioneer Prize, colleagues, dear friends. I will start with a quote. Once in my life, I want to be allowed to love someone that also loves me. This wish is expressed by one of the main characters in a book by Jonas Gardell, published in Sweden quite some years ago now. The title is Don't Ever Wipe Tears Without Gloves, and deals with the start of the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s, quite homophobic Sweden. It's a love story between two young men when homosexuality was very much a taboo subject, and also homosexuals were discriminated upon quite severely. We have come a long way since then with regard to LGBT plus rights, and relating more specifically to the Pioneer Prize 2021, we have come a long way in general in tackling polarization, hate, racism, and social exclusion. But do we have an inclusive, integrated society? Unfortunately, the answer is no. This is why your work is so extremely important, as is your devotion to work for a more inclusive society. In your different organizations and platforms, you work with children and youth to strengthen their self-esteem and hopes for the future. With the joy of football, you work with girls and women with minority backgrounds. You educate about racism and discrimination. You have founded LGBT movements, and you work with indigenous rights. This is both impressive and hopeful. And I would like to thank you dearly for your dedicated work and engagement. You give us all hope. But this is important. You are not alone and should not be alone. That is also why the dialogue with you is so crucial. Because very often when the injustices, problems, discrimination, segregation that you show and reveal must also be followed by concrete changes and actions and changes in structures and mechanisms in society. And that is why the dialogue with the democratic institutions and decision makers is so important, because you are not alone. That is also why the meeting we just had with Nordic safe cities and representatives from the Nordic countries, and of course also with the minister, before this award ceremony is so important. And this dialogue must, of course, continue and will continue. For the first time, the non-profit organization Nordic Safe Cities will award 4 scholarships to youth being role models in the fight against polarization, discrimination, and racism. I would like to thank the representatives of Nordic Safe Cities, Director Jeppe Albers and Project Manager Gustav Plantin, among others, for the excellent cooperation and for your fantastic work. We are both proud and happy that we have had an opportunity to participate in instituting the completely new Pioneer Prize. When you contacted us, it was very easy to say, yes, we want to collaborate. First and foremost, of course, because your work is so extremely important, but also because this is completely in line with the Swedish government and the government's policy for youth perspective and the Swedish government's feminist foreign policy and the initiative Drive for Democracy. This is, of course, also reflected in the work that we are carrying out at the embassy. And just to mention a few examples, our participation in World Pride, in Ungdomens folkemöte, and in folkemötet på Bornholm. As I said, just a few examples. And we will, of course, continue with this. So once again, a warm welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for your tremendous work. Thank you.
Dear ambassadors, dear ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends, first of all, I'd like to say that it's such an honor to be here, to read about, and now to finally get to meet the nominees to the Pioneer Award is truly inspiring. The work that you have done, all of you, is amazing. Let me start with just a few words on the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has had a huge impact on young people. Restrictions in schools and in universities and a rise in unemployment has especially affected young people. But you were also hit harder by the restrictions in everyday life, in meeting and in interacting with others. Our young people has paid a steep price for keeping our elders safe. The increased online activity and the restriction has also increased the vulnerability of many children and young people. And in many countries, human rights action and democratic principles are challenged daily. Democracy must never be taken for granted. It must be safeguarded every day, and this is a task that falls on all of us. However, even though young people are often the pioneers of positive changes, they are not always listened to. As we celebrate the 100th anniversary of universal and equal suffrage in Sweden this year, we are all still facing major challenges, both nationally and internationally. Living in Malmo, I see the problems that emanate from the socioeconomic segregation, the lack of hope in children, the constant negative reporting, the scarcity of resources. the suppression of girls, women, and LGBTIQ community, as well as the different forms of racism and discrimination. But I also see the counteraction. The civil society and the organization that young people drive, the dreams of an equal society with opportunities for and contributions from all. To stand up for the equal value of all human beings and their right to live in dignity is more important than ever. It is through democracy and participation at grassroots level that we build a stronger and more sustainable society. And this cannot be achieved unless we listen to young people's voices. The Swedish government cross-sectoral strategy to end segregation focuses on actions in 5 strategic areas: housing and residential segregation, education, the labor market, crime and safety, and democracy and civil society. Ending inequality, discrimination, and segregation, and creating an inclusive, equal, and safe society requires cooperation between municipalities, regions, and civil society organizations, as well as the state, the business sector, and researchers. You, as representatives of civil society, are one of the most important pieces of this puzzle. In Swedish, there is a word for the people who work tirelessly in civil society to make change. We call them eldsjälar, souls of fire. When I read about the work that all the nominees are doing in their society, I see the fire in your souls. I'm therefore very proud to be here today together with you, young people who take action to fight for other people's safety, for inclusion and for better societies. You are role models to all of us. This Pioneer Prize is the beginning of a Nordic cooperation to strengthen the role of youth in the work with inclusive and safe municipalities. As a minister of the Swedish government, I am proud to be the first to deliver this prize, and I would like to thank the Nordic Safe Cities for establishing this award and putting the spotlight on young people and their achievements, your achievements. Far too many young people today live in situations of democratic exclusion, where the democratic dialogue is threatened, and anti-democratic actors, hate speech, and violent extremism are growing louder, both offline and online. Their goal is to silence the voices of freedom and justice. And when the people's voices are silenced, democracy is silenced. But I am filled with hope as I see all of you here today. You are the loudspeakers. You are the megaphone needed to break the silence and give the voice back to democracy, the voice back to dignity, the voice back to equality. You are the pioneers. You are our future. In fact, you are the future. Thank you.
Well, as a Swede, I must start off by saying that I think we truly have displayed ourselves from our best side today with such a strong poet from Nordmark and from 2 great speeches from the minister and the ambassador. A big thank you to all 3 of you. And to all of you, a warm welcome to this year's Pioneer Prize ceremony, where we celebrate the extraordinary power of youth and the incredible undertakings of this year's pioneers. My name is Gustav Plantin, and as project manager for Nordic Safe Cities Pioneer Prize, I will be your host today. And I feel particularly happy to welcome you all to this prize ceremony, partly as the great width of present stakeholders here truly symbolizes what Nordic Safe Cities is all about. But also, since this is an event that exclusively revolves around the younger age group that I still belong to. That young people have the potential to drive forward positive change is something which we are continuously being reminded of, but more often actually should promote. Over the past years, We in Nordic Safe Cities have seen some extraordinary youth-led activities undertaken by entrepreneurs, musicians, sports leaders, activists, and youth council members in and around the 20 cities that we operate in. During the last year, I've had the great honor, together with colleagues in Nordic Safe Cities and the incredible staff here at the Embassy of Sweden, to canalize these stories into a new Nordic platform. The first of its kind, actually, for acknowledging the great role played by youth in generating safe, democratic local communities. Pioneers became our working terms, and wow, pioneers we've truly met. Since the launch of the prize in April, we've been overwhelmed by the great number of nominations and amazing stories highlighted for the prize. Using different platforms and tools, they have all been united by the strong drive to extend the boundaries of the local community and contributing to a more socially sustainable Nordic region. 6 of these pioneers are with us here today, and it really makes me glad to sincerely conclude that this year's prize winners truly showcase the potential and the absolute best in Nordic youth. Sekinikwa, Najin, Nu, Anna, Valgedur, and Christine, you are all true pioneers and extremely worthy winners of this year's award and the 25,000 Danish kroner scholarship that comes along. While I gladly would do it myself, I must also admit that no one can be better at presenting you with this award than our amazing youth jury who has been part of selecting this year's candidates. This jury constituted of 8 of the Nordic most pioneering youth between 25 and 30, I should say. But just as they have been completely blown away by your engagement and undertakings. Therefore, it is my great privilege to initiate this prize ceremony by asking 2 of these jury members, Björn Ihler, co-founder and director of the Khalifa Ihler Institute, and Jesper Teil Thomsen, CEO and co-founder of Soundbox, who will provide us with the motivations for our first winner. I would also like to welcome this year's prize awarder, Minister Märta Stenevi, up on stage. The floor is yours.
Sekwenika Katira is a Greenlandic Inuk artist, indigenous rights activist, and Instagram influencer. Sekwenika's work in art and activism have focused on mental health, decolonization, and revitalization of indigenous cultures and languages. Drawing on their own experiences, they have, amongst others, participated in the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, where they have published a book alongside co-workers at the Global Indigenous Youth Caucus. As a leader, they have highlighted the ability to be understanding, supportive, and have the courage to take unique but sometimes unpopular choices. Their hope is to cast more light on mental health and indigenous rights through the celebration or creation of online information and workshops to enhance the well-being of indigenous people in Greenland.
Sekinikwa Kitura is awarded the Pioneer Prize 2021 for having enhanced the understanding of indigenous struggles and for having improved local cohesion, revitalized indigenous culture, value, and identity. The jury finds that Sekinikwa is a pioneer in the true sense of the word. Through their activism, they have been promoting indigenous rights and the culture of Greenland in the ways the jury finds to be both unique and inspiring. As a result of their outstanding work to create change in their community, which continues to face many struggles, the jury finds Sekinikwa to be a role model for youth across Greenland and the Nordics. If youth are the future, and the youth model Sekinikwa, there is no doubt that Greenland is facing a bright future. Congratulations.
And now, Sikenikwa, I would actually like you to turn your attention to the screen as we have a greeting from your home city, Nuuk.
Sunyutraqluartoq is our native word for power when it comes to make your words count, mobilizing people behind an idea, or making the older generations listen. And that is the word I have chosen to put on the winner of this prize. Yusakaningwa. Your ability to fight has power, your word in the media has power, and the beauty in your cause has power. I have followed you the last years. Your power is an inspiration to all of us. Even though we might not be able to say it often enough, you lead the way and create a path that many of us are inspired to follow. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I encourage all of you, sometimes take a minute, stop what you are doing and listen carefully to this generation activists. They have something on their mind worth listening to, and we have a duty to listen to them because they have power. So and you, Sakiningwa, I'm very proud of you and congratulations with the prize.
A thank you to Mayor Charlotte Ludvigsen for that video, and once again a warm round of applause for Sikenikwa. Great. For our second award today, I would like to welcome two new members from the jury up on stage. And you can still stay there, Sikenikwa. We'll return to you in a moment. Our next presenters are Nima Tistal, founder of Blue Lobster, and Ronja Salmi, journalist, author, and head of the program for Helsinki Book Fair. Warm welcome.
Hi everyone. Negin Raven is an independent football coach and activist who's been engaged in several football projects where she develops meaningful projects that seek to empower girls and women with minority backgrounds to take part in the fellowship that football offers. Using football as a tool, she builds bridges for people with different ethnic backgrounds while also inspiring young females to hold on to their religion, culture, and values when chasing their dreams. Today, she's an ambassador for several organizations and lectures about how football can be used to foster integration. As a leader, Negin values inclusiveness and empowerment with the goal of one day coaching the national women's football team of Afghanistan.
Let's give it up for that. Negin Ravand is awarded the Pioneer Prize 2021 for having expanded the boundaries of the local community by fostering integration and belongingness, using football as a tool. The jury chose Negin Ravand because she embodies the spirit of a pioneer. She has felt the need for change in her community and had the strength and endurance to fix things. The jury was deeply impressed by her vision and the willingness to work hard for what she believes. And there remains no doubt that her work has empowered others and will continue to do so in the future. This is what defines a true pioneer. Congratulations.
And now I'm once again asking for your silence as we, believe it or not, have a greeting from the city of Aarhus.
Dear Negin, Congratulations on winning the Pioneer Prize. You have so much deserved it. You're a role model with great courage and a big heart for your local community as an activist, as a football coach, and as a role model that have shown girls that we can break down the barriers that are keeping them for taking active part in the world of sports and activities. You have done more than anyone could expect and demand. You have a huge heart for your local communities and you've done a lot of work. I know this is not the first prize that you're winning, but this is a prize that is given to you from cities all across Scandinavia because you have shown a way. You have done so much work that has an impact on many young people's lives. So keep up the good work, keep up your love for our beautiful city, and let's go out and make even more sports, even more chances for girls and boys and everyone to take active part in the daily lives and all the possibilities that lays within the world of sports. Congratulations.
Thank you to Mayor Jakob Brunsgaard for that video greeting. And ladies and gentlemen, one last applause for Najin Ravand. For our third Pioneer Prize award, we will actually go to Sweden. I will therefore want to welcome our two Swedish jury members, Molly Saltskog, Research Fellow at the Sufen Center, and Kansib Naguere, founder of Drömstort, to join us on stage. The microphone is yours.
Nordic, coach and mentor for youth in Malmo, works preventively with children and youth to strengthen their self-esteem and hopes for the future. Over the past years, he has been involved in projects ranging from preventing radicalization and extremism to gambling addiction. Today, he lectures in schools around Sweden about personal development, democracy, and how to be included as part of the society, while continuing to organize activities for youth in and around the Malmö area. In addition to this, Nuuk also runs a cafe driven by individuals who have previously been far away from the labor market. As a leader, Nuuk values creativity and being a good listener when trying to acquire local change.
Nodib is awarded the Pioneer Prize 2021 for having provided self-esteem and future aspirations to the most vulnerable youth in the Malmö region. The jury finds that Nuuk provides that you can make a world a better place one day at a time by starting with yourself, your neighborhood, and your community. Nuuk's commitment to a better community is the definition of local leadership and pioneering. Despite his young age, it was evident to the jury that Nuuk has had an enormously positive impact on many young lives in his community, and in the process, worked against bias, hate, extremism, and addiction in favor of a more inclusive, democratic society for all of us. Nuuk brings important leadership qualities to his everyday work that serve as an inspiration for youths looking to make a difference. These are empathy, commitment, active listening, empowerment of others, and perhaps most important of all, hope for the future. Congratulations.
And may I ask you to take one step forward, because I want you to look at the screen as we have a greeting from the city of Malmo.
Hi, Nuuk. My name is Sedat Arif, and I'm the Deputy Mayor of Malmo. I want to congratulate you on this very big day for winning the Pioneer Prize 2021. This prize celebrates you as a coach and a mentor for youth in Malmo, inspiring children and youth to strengthen their self-esteem and hopes for the future. Malmo is a young and globally connected city, and as you probably know, where 40% are under 30 years old. And over the past years, Malmo has been growing at a rapid speed, and the city needs dedicated people like you and places like Flamma. Thank you for sharing your knowledge on personal development, democracy, and ways to create change in the society. Please continue to organize activities for youth in the city in your own unique way. And congratulations once again.
Thank you to Deputy Mayor Sedat Arif, and one last applause for new Div. For our last award, I would like to welcome up our Icelandic jury members, Elisabeth Herdisar Brynjarsdottir, nurse and human rights activist, and Logi Pedro Stefansson, musician and designer, up to this stage. A warm welcome to you.
Anna Sonte, Kristín Reynisdóttir, and Valgerður Reynisdóttir, anti-racist activists, work to educate people about racism and discrimination in Iceland. Through their project Anti-Rasistarnir, driven on Instagram, they have enhanced the understanding of racism and xenophobia. On the platform, they share stories, lessons, facts, and advice to enhance awareness about these social issues. The project was initiated as a response to the racism and discrimination that all three of them had encountered, and has now become a popular community for both parents and youths to seek inspiration. As leaders, all three value being good listeners and communicators in order to get one's message through. Using these qualities themselves, they hope to create a more tolerant and inclusive Icelandic society.
I'm so deeply touched by everything that's happening here tonight, but I'm going to keep it together. But Anti-Rasistarnir were chosen at this year's Pioneers by the jury because of their outstanding and brave work that not only tackles discrimination and racism, but also promotes more understanding in Icelandic society, more knowledge on a sensitive topic, and brings people together in a community. They've only just started, but been working for a couple of months, but have managed to build a big crowd and platform for advocating for more inclusion. Through COVID and social distancing, they've brought Icelanders and others together online for a safer and more understanding society. The jury can't wait to see what lies ahead for them in creating a safer space in Iceland for minorities, and hopes that this acknowledgement will encourage them to continue their brave and valuable work for local and Nordic societies. Congratulations.
And I will also ask you to turn your attention to the screen as we're this time heading to the city of Reykjavik.
We are extremely proud here in Reykjavik that antirasistarnir, Anna Sonde, Kristín Reynisdóttir and Valgerður Hinde Reynisdóttir have won the prize as pioneers for their tireless effort for creating a safer city. We congratulate you for your courage to go out on Instagram using your own experience and in that way opening the eyes of many to racism and discrimination. In short time, you have gained a lot of followers and are leading the way for young people to take up this discussion and make the world, at least the city of Reykjavik, better. And I say this as a proud follower of you on Instagram. Congratulations.
Thank you to Mayor Dagur B. Eggertsson for that video greeting. And ladies and gentlemen, this year's Pioneers Prize winners. And while we are at it, I also want to give a warm applause to our amazing jury. And also to Minister Märta Stenevi for handing out the prize. With that said, this year's prizes have now been awarded. And before I ask your winners to step down from stage, you can take one step forward. I figured I wanted to ask you all one or two questions. I'm guessing that there's a lot of people here who are quite eager to hear about your stories. I know this is quite fresh. It's still in like a classical sports manner, but I feel like I need to ask you what has winning the Pioneer Prize meant for you, and how will you use this going forward? I will start here.
It is really amazing. I'm trying to process everything. Wait a minute. It's amazing. Like, we will... I don't know. Can you guys talk?
We will move on to the next person.
This is a great honor, and we really appreciate this. And this especially means that people want to listen to us, and people are willing to listen and willing to change. And that means a lot to us, because, I mean, we're young, and it's often like, oh, they're children, they don't know anything. Yeah. But we're actually being listened to, and it feels amazing.
And Valgerður, yeah, an applause. What happens in the future?
We want to, us Antirasism, want to start a podcast and create a safe space for people of color in Iceland where we can talk about our issues and talk about the racism we've experienced. And in the podcast, we're going to talk to many like
ethnicities.
Ethnicities.
Yes, we're all black in this, so we want to get like more experiences from other races and ethnicities. Yeah.
I think that sounds like a very good plan. I will also ask you, Nuuk. I want your opinion on this as well. What has it meant, and how will you use this going forward?
I think that it's not just for me, that it meant a lot, and it's an honor being here, and an honor for my whole organization, Flamman, in Malmo. I think they're watching now. And it's a big thing for all of us, and it's like a new energy for us people working with youth to get back with this prize back home. And how I will use the prize. Actually, Gustav, when I was on the way here yesterday, I saw the Rolex store outside. So
Fair enough.
But the prize money will help me to develop as a leader by enabling me to attend to more relative educations and create more opportunities to teach other young people about development and leadership, like the organization Flamman did for me. Thank you.
Good answer. Let's see if you get that watch as well. We'll see about that.
I need one more prize.
I'm going to stand here, and you can take a step forward, Najin.
Thank you.
And how does it feel for you?
It feels amazing. One of you mentioned the Soul of Fire before, and the thing about Souls of Fire is that they can also burn out. So I think a prize like this makes sure our flame is still alive, and we keep going for more time to go. And yeah, right now it's difficult for me to think about the future because I'm stuck in my thoughts are stuck with my family in Afghanistan, but
we understand. And to you, Siknikwa, what lies ahead in the future?
Honestly, the future for me is just keep going on with all my work and try to gather some energy myself for my mental health as well. But honestly, this prize is not for me. I'm dedicating this to all of the indigenous peoples in the Nordic countries because we're so underrepresented.
And you actually told me before when we were having lunch that you have a lot of people are tuning in here from Greenland as well.
Yeah, so in Greenland, as indigenous peoples, we're super collective. So even strangers are just super excited, and it's just, we all know each other and we're all a family in some way or another, so yeah. The prize is for my fellow Galaslit as well.
Thank you. I think we have time for one more round of questions. I will ask you, and this is something I think like a lot of people here are interested to hear about. But what is important for you when you lead as a team, and what do you think characterizes a good leader? You want to start, Anna?
Yes, you can. Okay. Like they said before, being a good listener is really important because if we want to improve, because if we want to improve our work, and then we have to listen to our community so we can be better, and that's really all we can ask for.
Yeah, and just like like Anna said, listen and improve, and also we have to be open to everything, whatever the people are asking us, be open to the questions, and answer them as well as we can, so people will listen. And yeah, that's what I go.
Yeah. What was the question? Sorry, I forgot the question.
What is important for you when you lead?
Oh yeah, it's to be also just a good listener, to be able to understand the people, and they feel like we are listening and being honest.
And also look at everyone's perspective. Think about everyone's perspective, because everybody is going through something, and we have to make sure that we are not.
Be understanding of that, yeah.
Thank you, and your assistant. And Nuuk, I know from our interview with you, you also really emphasized being a good listener, but also being there for people. That's a great part of your leadership role. What do you think characterizes a good leader?
In a few words, just being humble and responsive, and lead others forwards. That's what I should say in a few words. If you want more words.
No, that is completely fine. That is completely fine.
No, but just like they said, when you asked me that question first time, I said, like the girl said, being a good listener. because you have to like know what you're hearing and really deeply get into it to like get out the best result when you're somebody's gonna answer when you help the people, like,
yeah. Thank you.
Get the mic out of my face now.
And for you, Nadine?
For me, it's important to make sure everyone feels crucial to the process, and that, even you may be a lot of, players on a football team, everyone is necessary to score a goal. So I think that's my philosophy.
That's good. I like it as well. I'm a football player as well.
To me, a good leader is someone who has empathy and is understanding, and just listens to every single person's background before judging anyone. Because a leader is someone who, is kind of carrying all the others who can't lead, and kind of carrying them with you for everyone to be better. I guess that's.
I think that was some very wise words to conclude this interview session. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Pioneer Prize winners. Thank you. You may now step down. Well, as you all clearly could hear, this year's winners really demonstrate the true width of Nordic youth engagement, both in terms of their actions, but also in terms of geographical diversity. In fact, this year's Pioneer Prize, even though it was the first time, we received nominations from no less than all Nordic regions, indicating the uniqueness and the pioneering character of Nordic youth. And that constitutes a very nice transition to our next speaker. Now, I kindly want to ask or welcome the Secretary General of the Nordic Council of Ministers, Paula Lehtomäki, up on stage. The floor is yours.
For the first, congratulations for the prize winners for well-deserved prize. And maybe that is all I need to say. But as there is a reserved 10 minutes for my speech, so I will have the speech as well. Distinguished minister, distinguished ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, prize winners, it is really a pleasure to take part in this ceremony. It shows a good energy, and it also shows a very nice Nordic spirit, which is always very good to see. This is an occasion to celebrate you as representatives of generation striving to create inclusive societies which are based on equality. On behalf of the Nordic Council of Ministers, it is an occasion to present my sincere thanks for your relentless efforts to improve the inclusion of Nordic inhabitants at risk of marginalization. It is our vision in Nordic cooperation that Nordics need to become the most integrated and sustainable region of the world. In doing so, we want to bring the Nordic countries closer, but just as important is inclusion of all our citizens to make sure that no one is left behind when creating sustainable societies. Nordic cooperation is built on values such as equality, trust, tolerance, and non-discrimination. But as we all know, we live in a world where values such as democracy, integration, and inclusion come under pressure. More than ever, we therefore need new forms of cooperation, new ideas, and new action. The kind of action you are showing in everyday life. Your generation is actually leading all of us in using new tools and new platforms for action. As prize winners, you play a great role in generating safe, democratic local communities that are united and resilient against hate and polarization. Listening to the voice of young people, upholding diverse communication channels, finding inspiration and guidance in their opinion, all this needs to be constantly present in the daily life of any civil servant or politician. We at the Nordic Council of Ministers strive to include sustainable development, gender equality, and a child rights and youth perspective in all our efforts and activities. To succeed, it is not enough to ask after the opinion of young people, but also to actively listen and act. It is only through open dialogue with children and young people that we can learn how to do better. Only you can tell us if our vision is right and if our measures have the right impact. The Nordic Council of Ministers has a clear vision about children and young people taking their own initiatives, suggesting their own solutions to global and global challenges. Young people have shown us examples of innovative, open and brave approach to regional cooperation. We have seen how the Nordic network of future innovators has been born, how global warming is being explained using new media, or how young people take the lead in breaking outdated norms and beliefs. I would like to use this occasion also to thank our friends at Nordic Safe Cities for taking this initiative to launch the Nordic Pioneer Prize that gives Nordic youth an opportunity to spread their visionary ideas for a socially sustainable future. Today's prize winners, as we have just heard, are each leading the way in promoting more inclusive communities in Denmark, Greenland, Iceland, and Sweden. Your work creates results. You are making a positive change for inhabitants at risk of discrimination and exclusion. It is extremely important that there are people like you who are ready to invest time and effort into improving others' lives, who are willing to work, and once again work for a better future for us all. To some of your collective efforts contribute to the Nordic goal, increased trust. Trust between inhabitants and thereby also social cohesion in the whole Nordic region. This sends a clear signal to the rest of the world that words can be turned into action and that real and positive development is possible. Once again, warm congratulations for the well-deserved Pioneer Prize you have been awarded today. Thanks.
Thank you, Paula, for those very wise words and for emphasizing the need for further Nordic cooperation. And I must agree that in order to build sustainable societies, we must actively make sure that everyone's part of the discourse. While we have explored different unifying expressions here today, such as poetry, activism, and sports, I now want to introduce another unifying expression to this prize ceremony, namely music. For our next part, we will listen to the Swedish singer-songwriter Alice Boman from Malmo. Alice's music started at home as a teenager, but she received her major breakthrough in 2013. Since then, she has featured in numerous international settings and just recently in the Netflix series Lucifer and Clickbait. Her sound is being described as deeply textural, atmospheric, and immersive, and she will today perform acoustically with 3 songs for us. A warm welcome to you, Alice. The microphone and the grand piano is yours.
There we go. Hello. And thank you and congratulations. Yes, I'm going to sing 3 songs, and they're not very cheerful, but I hope you enjoy them. Feels like a downer now, but... I want you more than I need you, and I need you so bad. Are you coming back? Are you coming back? I'm waiting. Haven't had a dream in a long time. Haven't been able to sleep. Are you coming back? Are you coming back? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I want you more than I need you, and I need you so bad. Are you coming back? Are you coming back? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Thank you. Where are you tonight? Where are you tonight? I want to dance with you again. I want to dance with you again. Who are you holding now? Who are you holding now? Is she everything that I am not? Is she everything that I am not? Everybody hurts, everybody hurts sometimes, sometimes. Everybody hurts. Everybody hurts. Every heart aches. Every heart breaks. But everything's gonna be alright. I tell you, everything's gonna be alright. Everybody hurts. Everybody hurts. Sometimes, sometimes everybody hurts. Everybody hurts. Everybody hurts. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Thank you so much. I wish I'd never met you. Wasted so much time. I wish I could forget you. All the lonesome mornings and all the sleepless nights, wishing you'd change your mind. 'Cause you set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. I know there's some place you'd rather be, somewhere else, not here with me. 'Cause it's all over your face. I can see and I feel it, but I need to hear it, or else I just keep hoping. I wish we'd never met, 'cause you set my heart on fire. 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 You set my heart, set my heart, set my heart on fire. You set my heart, you set my heart, you set my heart on fire. You set my heart, set my heart, set my heart on fire.
Alice Boman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Alice, for that truly wonderful performance. We're now reaching the end of this year's prize ceremony. And while we certainly have had a fantastic and highly inspirational afternoon here at the Embassy of Sweden in Copenhagen, it makes me particularly glad to also state that we have hardly reached the end of this Nordic youth project called the Pioneer Prize. Today has been all about celebrating the amazing accomplishment of this year's winner. Tomorrow is all about empowering future winners. If it's one thing that has clearly emerged during this prize ceremony, and as several of our speakers here today have highlighted, is that youth's ability to build sustainable communities should never be underestimated. They are the future, and they build the future. And maybe by bringing together the right stakeholders on the right issues with the right pioneering examples, we can hopefully be a part of creating a new sustainable tomorrow. Therefore, it makes me particularly glad to actually conclude that today also constituted the start of a longer Nordic collaboration on youth empowerment, where next year's ceremony will be hosted by the Embassy of Norway. A collaboration which seeks to gather all the best stories from around the Nordics and to give youth a platform for being recognized and for being encouraged. And as someone once famously said, to know that one's work is being seen, recognized, and valued may be a small step for mankind, but it is a giant step for the individual youth. And maybe we can draw on the extraordinary power of youth and leverage youth abilities that usually brings forward the most pioneering and needed solutions. Courage, ambition, and a tiny bit of naivety, namely always seeing the possibilities. Therefore, my advice to you is to continue or make sure to share the good stories of youth in your local community. Make sure to bring forward youth in decision-making processes and make sure that the youth around you are being listened to and are being valued for their work. By doing so, we may have just started a new movement that pioneers safety and cohesion in the Nordic region. And that is a future I think we all want to be a part of. With those words, I once again want to congratulate this year's Pioneer Prize winner, while also handing over the microphone to this ceremony's hostess, namely Ambassador Charlotte Wrangberg. Thank you.
Yes, just to conclude, thank you very much. It's been impressive, overwhelming, quite emotional as well, I must say. And there are many words that come to my mind now. But most of all, I think hope and determination, and that is what you have shown. And I think determination is what we all feel now also, all of us. So thank you once again for your fantastic work. And as you said, Gustav, I mean, this is a prize and a collaboration in a true Nordic spirit, and that's why it's so important also to have the representatives, Paula Lehtomäki from the Nordic Minister of Council and Johan Tideman, a backbencher there from the Nordic Council, because this is, of course, something we do in collaboration all together, the Nordic countries. And Katja, please stand up, because you will be the hostess for the next ceremony. An applause to you. And then we see if it's Iceland or Finland or in what order we do it. And then, of course, in 4 or 5 years, you're welcome back here again. So thank you very much. And now there will be some drinks and some food served. So please now enjoy the mingle and enjoy the party and have a nice evening later on as well. I hear that you're going on a boat trip. You said it was cancelled, but now the weather is better, so maybe that will go ahead instead. Thank you once again, and good luck.